In his latest analysis, Raoul Pal, the renowned macro investor and co-founder of Real Vision, has expressed his bullish stance on Ethereum, highlighting its growing significance in the world of decentralized finance and the broader digital economy. Pal emphasizes that Ethereum has emerged as the leading platform for smart contracts and decentralized applications, with a rapidly expanding ecosystem that continues to attract developers, users, and institutional interest.
Firstly, to people who are just in the crypto space, it doesn't matter. They're both going up, right? So that's the most important thing to note. So you can back any horse you want. What we're in the game for is the excess returns. Where can you generate the higher return? So when I look at Bitcoin, it's the scarcity and the purity of what they're doing. But now we're building ordinals and other things on top of the network and layer twos and stuff. Okay, more use cases, good for Metcalfe's law, good for on-chain activity. ETH is much broader and much more dominant in that broader world. And so when I look at that and think of the ETH staking, the yields, what institutions like about this as well, what kind of people get involved, I mean, everything seems to be more ETH based. And again, that's not a diss on Bitcoin, this ridiculous tribalism online. And I just look at the long-term ETH Bitcoin cross on TradingView, and it looks like it's a giant kind of wedge pattern. And I look at that, and that's the kind of, with all price history on a log chart. And I'm like, I just reckon that these patterns usually break up as a continuation pattern, and that would say ETH massively outperforms. If we also know that ETH becomes scarcer every time it's used right now, then it's most likely to outperform. What was really interesting is we've just gone through a big bear market. Normally, everything gets nuked versus Bitcoin. ETH didn't. It traded sideways. Yeah. So if that's not a big tell, so if it stays the same as Bitcoin in a down market, what's it going to do in a bull market? So that's my hunch, is that it outperforms. My hunch that in this cycle it'll do the flippening, and then it'll probably come back again, and everyone goes, "See, it was ridiculous. It was a bubble." But over time, it's a faster growing network. Simple as that.
And you and I have watched them.
Larry Fink, CEO of Blackrock, who has been critical of the crypto space in the past, recently came out in support of Bitcoin by filing an ETF with the SEC. When it comes to Blackrock, Pal states that the institution has been waiting for the right regulatory environment to enter the space. With major investors like BlackRock filing for ETFs, it introduces the possibility for new capital and innovation to enter the blockchain technology arena and contribute to the future of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, but I do remember back in 2021, he was on CNBC, and he started talking about when they put some stuff on Bitcoin onto the BlackRock website and they had a record number of hits on the website. Yeah. He's like, right. I paid attention that people want this as a product.
Yeah.
And it was just him talking about it that got it. So I think he's been across the line for a while, and I think they've been waiting for both the right regulatory environment and the right time in the market. And we're Bitcoin's up 100% from the low. It's starting to feel like people are starting to understand that we're likely in a bull market again, and so therefore they've rolled it out. I mean, from my conversations with most of these institutions, is they've all been working on it. They all know it's coming, but it's waiting for the SEC to say what they can do. And I think the trade-off here is Gensler's like, I need a political break here, because he's getting destroyed by stopping all innovation in the United States, and stopping opportunity to investors, which I think is disgraceful. So I think he's thought, okay, well, I've said Bitcoin is okay, so why don't I just get that across the line? Yeah. So then, look, everybody lined up to do this, which is fine for all of us, because it will just bring fresh capital into the digital economy. Yeah. And that'll get disseminated across the digital economy into different places, and that'll invigorate the cycle. But yeah, most of these people, even Jamie Dimon, they've got a huge group of people working on blockchain technologies at JP Morgan. Goldman Sachs do, Apollo do. I mean, they've all got it. So
with Bitcoin currently sitting around 30,000 and the bottom potentially being in, what is a reasonable price prediction for the volatile asset in this upcoming bull market?
Diminishing.
Yeah, I think all of us need to be cautious putting out prices to people.
Yeah.
So
Don't
we can
mention
all have
like-
our heads what we think, because people don't yet know how to fully take risk, because this is bringing in new market participants. So how I would look at it, and even with my own mind, is, listen, it probably triples from the all-time high, and currently it's at 30 grand. So okay, that's a 6x from here. That's pretty good. And the upside is, maybe I'm totally wrong and it gets complete panic to the upside because of the issues you talk about. We don't know what's going to be happening in the economy in 2025. What could be driving prices. So I just think you get the upside for free. You can be conservative and it's still huge, and you get the upside for free. So when I first wrote the first ever kind of Bitcoin strategy piece, investment strategy piece and price model, that was 2013. It was at $200, and I said I worked it out kind of like gold with a stock to flow ratio, just kind of simple maths. And I'm like, well, Bitcoin on the same basis would be valued at $1 million. So I said, okay, I'm just going to discount myself by 90% because this sounds ridiculous. So we'll call it $100,000. And it was trading at $200. I said, it's still the best risk reward you'll ever find. So at 6x, does Bitcoin outperform, underperform Tesla, or in line? I don't know. I actually don't know with that bet. Because we're actually quite...
If the 4-year Bitcoin cycle continues, it is reasonable to assume that the Bitcoin price could potentially break new all-time highs. With the halving occurring in less than a year, it's possible Raoul Pal is correct about us likely being in beginning of a new bull market. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more information regarding the crypto markets. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.